Hello.
What's going on, guys? We're here live at Cryo Pure Spa on the Cryo couch. Again, we're starting a little bit late today, but we're trying a new little system here, so this is going to be an interesting thing to see here. We're going to do an interview here with Bobby Hunt, and we're going to talk a little bit
Welcome, Bobby. Hi.
Hi, guys.
How are you? So we're going to talk a little bit about blue light, light in general, what Bobby thinks about Cryo Pure, and the services we have here, and we're just going to kind of keep it light and fun and just talk
how it impacts his body. So we're going to start out talking about here, but he also has this awesome book that we can't wait for you guys to hear about. So we're going to go into that in a little bit too. But Bobby, what got you coming in here? What made you like the cold therapy that we have?
Well, I've been doing cold therapy for a long time, but the way I did it was freezing myself in Lake Michigan. So we'd stay in there for, 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. Is it with a group of people?
Yeah, lots of people do it. And when you guys came along, you shortened my time by 27 minutes. I can go in your thing for about 3 minutes and get a lot of the same effects that I get. And one of the things I really like about the cold is it makes your mitochondria much more efficient. So you've got in your mitochondria, you've got what's called the electron transport chain, and that's basically how your body uses electrons to make energy to power your body systems, et cetera, in mitochondria. And in your electron transport chain, you've got these things called respiratory proteins. And the closer respiratory proteins are together, the quicker electrons move across your electron transport chain in your mitochondria, and the more energy your body makes, basically. Okay? So as you age or you do bad things, stay out late at night, bad light, etc., those respiratory proteins, they become further and further and further apart. So the neat thing about cold is when you freeze water, water expands. A Coke blows up in a freezer, right? When you boil water, you heat water, water shrinks. So your respiratory proteins are surrounded by basically plasma, by basically water, okay? Now, when you freeze your body, what happens is your body has to produce heat. Your mitochondria produce heat. And what that does is that shrinks the water that surround your respiratory proteins in your mitochondria, in the electron transport chain, brings them closer together and makes electrons move faster across the chain, giving you more efficient energy. So that's ultimately how your cold thing works, which is pretty cool and why I like to do it a lot.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And a really interesting take, because I know a lot of people don't get to hear as much of the science around it. They just feel the benefit, but now this helps them understand that. So, Bobby, tell us a little bit about how you learned to, learn all of this stuff. Yeah. Where did you get all this knowledge?
Was it like a biohacking type thing? Or
it's been around for a while. Now it's kind of, like I said, the freezing has been around for forever. The Swedish and the Russians, they love to do, they love to freeze themselves, and then they love to go in the saunas and heat themselves and freeze and heat and freeze and heat and freeze and heat. So it's been around forever. It's just now that people are really doing the research as to how it works, and so this is the basics of how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been in our sauna too. What makes you go in there? And is there
the red light?
Yes.
The infrared sauna, full spectrum.
Correct.
Well, what I like about that is it also comes down to mitochondria too. And so what many people don't know is that sunlight is made of over 50% of sunlight is red and infrared light. Okay, so that's replacing a lot of light that you're not getting, that you would be getting naturally. For instance, let's see, a normal day. So let's somebody normal day, when I used to have a normal job, okay, what would I do? What would I do? I'd get up, I'd look at, I'd look at my cell phone. So I'd get artificial light there, right? This isn't a cell phone, but, and then I'd maybe turn on the TV, turn on the kitchen lights, make breakfast under artificial light the whole freaking time, and then get in my car. My car has windows which filter infrared and UV out. So that's artificial light. Go to work under artificial lights. Come home on the train under artificial lights. Go to work out in the gym under artificial lights. Have dinner under artificial lights, turn on the TV at night, artificial lights. So mostly you're getting artificial lights all day, all night long. And unfortunately, in the 1880s when Edison had his bright idea and created light, and then Westinghouse and Nicholas Tesla electrified the Chicago World's Fair, with electric light, the first time that was ever done. Since then, man's been able to basically turn darkness to light at the flip of a switch. We've never been able to do that in the history of people. Okay, so for millions and millions of years, we've evolved under sunlight and darkness, basically moonlight, until about 1900, 100 years ago or so. Okay, so at first, Edison, they made these incandescent bulbs, which actually do have red and infrared light in them, okay? You feel the heat source from it, right? Well, as time went on, the people who made the lights were just looking for ways to save money. And the way you save money with lights is you take the heating element out of the lights. So what subtracts from lights? So they took out UV and they took out infrared from lights. So now most of our light sources are all blue, green, yellow.
Right.
Hardly any red, hardly any infrared. Okay, so we're basically getting the equivalent of high fructose corn syrup and trans fats in lights every day, in artificial lights. That's what nobody realizes is they pay so much attention to their artificial foods, but really they're getting slammed with artificial lights all day. The trans fats.
Like the typical LED lights that pretty much everyone has in their house.
Right, all the eco lights, right?
So that wavelength, the wavelength that's coming out of that LED light in front of you right now, it's unopposed blue and violet light, which is you don't get that in nature. So red is the antidote to blue, basically. So blue is very stimulatory. It creates reactive oxygen species, ROS, and red regenerates. So you need the red to fix the damage that the blue creates. If you don't have the red, you're screwing yourself every day over and over again without repairing. Mm-hmm. So that's what the red does. The red repairs. The red regenerates the damage that the blue does. And you're getting so much of this unopposed blue light that you've got to find ways to add it back into your life, get it back into your skin, on your eyes, in your mitochondria. And that's what your little light sauna things help do.
The best source, I think we would both agree on, is obviously the sun.
Yes.
But if it's like cloudy and it's gloomy and like what most winters here in Chicago are.
I think your book talked a little bit about giving us some ideas. So first, could you tell us a little bit about your book, the book's name, what led you to come up with it?
Well, the book it's called The Blue Light Diet, and it's basically it's a little misleading, but it's my opinion that everybody, you need a diet of light in your life. Just like you've got the food pyramid, you need a light pyramid, really. You've got to make sure that you get certain kinds of light throughout the day. Okay, so for instance, in the early morning, the sun comes up, it's reddish, right? Mm-hmm. So there's equal parts red, blue, and green light. And that red light hits your skin, it turns on your mitochondria. Your mitochondria produce antioxidants that are going to help you later in the day when the harsher forms of light come out. Okay, so you need that red light in the morning. Then the blue light comes out. You know, when the sun gets really bright, you look up at the sun, it goes in through your eye, in through your retina, hits your pituitary gland, and you spit out hormones like cortisol, which makes you alert. You can run from a tiger if it's chasing you or something like that, you know, and it wakes you up. Right. That's what early morning blue light does. And then around 10 a.m. or something, UVA light comes. And what UVA light does, it releases nitric oxide, which increases blood flow and lowers blood pressure. And then it brings blood up to the surface of your skin, and the UVA light deactivates the hormones that were released from your pituitary gland from the blue light in the early morning. So that stops your hormone production. You give your pituitary gland a rest. And then around noon, you need UVB light comes out. UVB light sulfates vitamin D, sulfates cholesterol. You know, make sure you've got the good cholesterol. And then later in the day, everything goes down. Red shifts, the red light comes out, the darkness comes, and you start releasing the melatonin. Your cortisol stops. You start releasing melatonin, which makes you sleepy, gets you ready for autophagy, which is, you know, you're repairing the damage you caused earlier that day. So you need different kinds of light at different times of the day. That's part of the book. That's the first part of the book. And then the second part of the book is that at night, you've got to block this crazy light. So the light that you have right now in your face, it's the light that you're getting early in the morning, number one. So it's a high-powered blue or violet, and it's unopposed. There's hardly any red light in it, hardly any. So right now is it's a signal in your brain basically that it's morning time, and you guys should be awake, ready to run from a lion, okay? But that's not what you want to do right now. You want to sleep. You want to, you know, so you need the red light, or you got to know how to block it or filter it, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the second half of the blue light diet. So it shows you how to do that by, you can wear, you know, special glasses like this that filter it out. I am in I've got special lights, red light room right now. So this doesn't do anything to my melatonin. It doesn't suppress it at all, et cetera, et cetera. So there's lots of ways that you could still live a regular life.
So what time do you usually start blacking out the blue light?
Well, man, it's different for everybody because some people are so surrounded by blue light all day long. If you're inside under bad lighting and then you've got computers in front of your face all, you know, so some people need to do it. You know, I've got, for instance, a full screen filter right here that you guys can't see that just takes everything off my computer screen, filters out all the bad light. But ideally, you want 4 hours of, it takes about 4 hours of darkness for you to start pushing out melatonin. Okay. So take when you're going to bed and then subtract 4 hours. But actually, you just want to look outside. Is it still light outside? Okay, right. You're fine.
So what you're saying is really the world had created an environment to help promote what we needed to promote. But we, of course, love inventions and love creating things. So the only way that we've been able to actually understand all these impacts is when people started studying all this artificial stuff that we've been putting out there. Right. And we have to pay more attention to nature.
I should just stop talking right now because you just said it the best. You know, that's exactly it. We nature has it. We messed it up. So ideally, all you want to do is just get back to nature as much as you can. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So when it's dark out, you want it to be dark, ideally. But obviously, you can't. It's hard to function like that in today. So there are ways to, you know, mitigate it and kind of hack it a little bit.
Right. So people like us who are constantly, I don't know where the screen is there. Who are constantly on our phones and constantly on the computer and working a couple jobs and doing all that.
What can we do?
What can we do?
Well, you can.
Like filtering the lights. You mentioned those sunglasses. Is that something I could use with my phone?
Yeah, so they've got phone filters. Where is my phone? Where did I put my freaking phone? So
like within the phone, does that actually work, or is that kind of fake? Or because I've heard mixed reviews on that.
They've got a thing on your phone. It's called Night Shift. If you've got an iPhone, right? So you can turn Night Shift on. You can also do. It's called Red Shift your phone. So you kind of take out. That's a special thing. I'll tell you guys how to do. I can't tell you. It's too intricate over here right now. But then you can buy screen filters that you can put on at night that'll filter out that stuff on your phone. You could wear, all different kinds of blue blocking glasses that'll filter that stuff out. You've got TV filters. You've got special light bulbs you can buy. So, there's lots of things you can do. Oh, and another thing is clothing. So light also, not only does it go in through your eye and tell your brain to do things, but it also affects your skin. So just like the red light affects your skin, unopposed blue light affects your skin at night too. So it does it, and it does it through a lot of the same pathways as some UV does. So ideally, when you're indoors, you want to wear clothing. It's kind of like indoor sunscreen. So it protects your skin from the weird light wavelengths, the artificial light wavelengths. When you're outside, you want to wear as little clothes as possible. Yeah. So we're just, exactly. Just the opposite.
It's the opposite of what we've created, which is what Paige touched on before.
Right.
Everything we've done is kind of...
And I loved your reaction because when I asked you what we should do with all the phones, and I can hear your brain just yelling at me like, well, then just go and change things and go outside. Your reaction's awesome.
Yeah. And another thing you can do is you can blend your lighting. So if you guys have bad lights right there, so some LEDs or some fluorescence right there, you can get some incandescents, or you can get some red lights and turn them on in the background. So you're getting a mix. So you're getting some red into the mix. So that's another thing you can do. Or you can just turn on that full spectrum sauna you have there. And
I was gonna say, is there like a certain amount of like light that you could get, like from infrared, like from a full spectrum sauna that you do? Like you say you go for 30 minutes, that's going to cancel out a certain amount of the blue light you had that day, or is there no like perfect scientific answer to that?
I don't know if anybody's quantified it like that. I certainly haven't seen anything. And we're right, like with light, we're right on like kind of the cutting edge, the beginning of digging into it. It's been just neglected forever. Have you
seen that Novathor light bed that they made too?
That thing. When did you order that yet, please?
No, I want to go in. There's one not too. Have you done it?
Oh no, I haven't done it. I've got friends who have done it, it's pretty cool. And that light bed, super powered. And then have you guys seen another thing? It's called the Quantlet.
I have, yeah. You know what? A friend of mine, and I think he might be a mutual friend actually, David Kasprzak.
Oh yeah.
He ordered one of those, and I saw that he was using that. So that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that replaces a lot of light that you're missing as well. I'm waiting for that to come in the mail, so I can't talk about it.
Are you? Okay. Awesome.
See, we're always adding things here, so.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I will be there daily if you guys have those things.
Definitely more and more here, in Cryopure, in our lives in general, we're definitely seeing the benefits through the scholarly articles that we read and things like that from that near infrared spectrum and from the red light therapy. I think, like you said, we're in the beginning of like some really innovative stuff, and I think it's really exciting to see like the things they're doing with people with like post-traumatic stress disorder and Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah.
It's just incredible to see. So.
Cognitive awareness is incredible.
Cognitive awareness. You know how much your cold in the light has improved my parents' mental acuity. My dad used to call me by the dog's name. Now he doesn't anymore. He's been going to the cold thing. He loves it. So his mitochondria are definitely improving.
Yeah, yeah. Myself too. I was worried when we started this business that I wouldn't remember any client's name because I was terrible at it, and it's gotten so much better.
There you go.
There's something to it.
So if people want to buy your book to learn more about all of this, where can we get it?
Well, bluelightdiet.com, but the book doesn't come out until June. Okay. However, in 2 weeks, I've got an online kind of a training blue light detox program coming out. And awesome. It's videos and you know, step-by-step videos, et cetera. And we'll go over everything you need to know about all of this stuff. And that's at bluelightdetox.com.
Okay.
Very cool. Thank you. We'll link it. Yeah.
Below as well.
Okay.
Excellent. I think if you don't have any more questions.
Yeah. Are people invited to ask you questions on the bottom of this video?
Yeah, I'll reply to them.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Okay, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. See you here.
I'll see you soon, and I'll send my parents in there soon too.
Thank you. And we'll have to ask you how to get that little red light thing on our phones too.
I'll put a link to it in the bottom.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
There we go. Thanks,
okay.
Matt.
See you guys.
Good night.